What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while since I've done one of these Yu-Gi-Oh 101 discussion. And in this video, we're going to be talking about some anime only or some video game only cards that have not officially been released in the game. And this is basically just to open up some discussion, amongst the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Like if they were to release a new archetype, what are some new archetypes that you would like to see? Now, of course, just by us talking about it, chances are they won't release these cards ever, but, it's good for some, just some discussion, just amongst us, like what would you like to see if it was possible? And, like Konami, started asking people, like what type of archetypes would you like to see be made, into some actual cards, then what would you like to see, and so just based on that, thought and on that logic, like they haven't asked anybody this, well, not me for that matter, but like this is just for some Yu-Gi-Oh community, talk. This is basically what this is. So don't take any of this literally. I don't really care if people saying, oh, these cards will never get released for whatever reason. Like I said, it's just for discussion. That's why I made the Yu-Gi-Oh 101, this series, this sub-series, for open discussion. So, like I said, this video is going to be for some archetypes that, truth be told, like if they were to make some new archetypes, like these are archetypes that I would like to see make it into the game, like be made into, actual cards. And I'll be, and I would like to see what type of, and what type of way, like would they, like change up the effects, because, in the anime, like they make the cards out to be a certain way, like for the storyline. So how would they change that up when it comes? Well, if it were to be made, into an actual card. So first up, the first archetype I feel like they should make is, as you can see here, the Fortune Fairies. Now, a lot of people know of the Fortune Ladies, and they feel like, because they already got like the Fortune Monsters, with that archetype, it wouldn't make any sense to make the Fortune Fairies. But like here's my thing, as you can read right here on the YuGiOh site, it says that these cards were made for the Yu-Gi-Oh 5D's Tag Force 5 and 6. Well, I like 4, 5, and 6. So, like, here's my thing: if they already made it, like before a like video game, then that's pretty much saying that, like they were trying to like test it out, maybe to see, like how it would work, in actual duels, So who knows? Like maybe they might take the, cards out of the game and maybe actually, put them in an actual, like in the actual game. But just to give you a description of what the Fortune Fairies are, they're all spellcaster normal type monsters. They're all spellcaster type normal monsters with 0 attack and defense, and they each have a level from like 1 to 6. And like what they do is they like focus on like summoning as many like Fortune Fairies as they possibly can, while like increasing their like attack with like cards like like Luck Loan, the Miracle Stone, and unacceptable result, as you can read right here. So why don't we just take a look at these 3 cards right here in particular. Okay, so Luck Loan. This is, as you can see, Luck Loan. It got a little dark thing right here. It got the little nerdy one right there in the back. But the effect for this card is face up FortuneFairy monsters. Like you can select 1 face up FortuneFairy monster you control. Special summon 1 FortuneFairy monster 1 level lower than the monster you selected from your hand or deck. You cannot normal summon monsters during your next turn. So this is to help special summoning, like more Fortune Fairies. This is unacceptable result. Activate only when you summon a Fortune Fairy monster or monsters. Special summon 1 Fortune Fairy monster from your hand. So you got a little swarming tactic there, as we can see. And Miracle Stone. I'm guessing this is the one that helps increase the attack. Yeah, okay, here we go. It said all Fortune Fairy monsters you control gain 1,000 attack for each Fortune Fairy monster you control. Fortune Fairy monsters you control cannot attack the turn that they are summoned. So this is one of their like power-up cards, and it's a continuous spell card. So I mean, I want to say, like, if they were to make this archetype, like, they would need, like, obviously, like, more support than this. But as far as the monsters go, like, I'm gonna have the link to all of these, archetypes and such, in the video description, so you guys can check these out and you can like see like what the monsters do, etc. If I don't, I'll like show them in this video, because I don't want to be, like too confused on what I'm saying. But like I've already looked over these, like just more like just skimmed over them. But yeah, like these are some archetypes that I would like to see come into the game. Now the first archetype with the Fortune Fairies, the second archetype I would like to see make it is the armor archetype. Yeah, like the armor monster archetype. Like the cards are like Buster Knuckle, like Burning Knuckle. Pretty much the armor archetype consists of, well, as the archetype states, it's based on like pieces of armor, like as you can see right here, like the 2 armor arms, the chest plate, the helmet, which the archetype is actually like based around. That's called like Psychic Armor Head. Like pretty much all the cards in the archetype are pretty much like based around this one card. You know what I mean? And all of the monsters in the archetype share like 2 effects. Like one that only one armor monster can attack per turn, and if there are 2 or more armor monsters on each player's side of the field, and one of them is declared as an attack, that target can change that attack target like to another armor monster that that he or she controls. So you have some attack control as well. But yeah, like I'm not gonna show no cards. Like I said, like this is gonna be put in the description, so you guys can look at the monsters and such. But I think this would be an interesting archetype to, you know, add to the game. Moving on are the doll parts. Yeah, right here, like the doll parts. Now, these weren't put into any game, and like they only shown like a few monsters. You know, only had like a few monsters to show. So I guess I can, you know, like just showcase these. You know, because they are like very few monsters. You know, like they have like various parts, like as you can see right here. You have like doll part blue, doll part gold, doll part pink, ball part pink, doll part red, and you know, like they have other monsters in there as well. If they were to make this into an archetype, obviously, like the main thing is that these are going to need like a lot more support than what they have shown to have. Again, it's another one of those archetypes that I feel like can bring some interesting, you know, things to the game if it was to be made into an official, you know, archetype. But yeah, it's an archetype of dark spellcaster type monsters, and as you can see, like they're normal monsters. They all seem to be well, with the exception of two of them, they seem to be, you know, like just based on using the like, you know, the doll part blue, gold, red, and yellow, you know. In order to get their more like powerful, you know, like monsters out. But yeah, out of all the archetypes that I'm like speaking on in this video, I think that this is like the one that will probably get, you know, released like the least out of all of them. Like this one probably has like the least chance of ever getting released as an official archetype, you know, because they haven't like put it like in any game or anything like that. You know, like it's pretty much been like anime only. But hey, moving on, the next archetype, you know, like they don't have like an official, you know, like picture to represent them, but this archetype is called the statues. The statues. Now, they made their debut in YuGiOh Zexal, and basically what the statue archetype consists of are, you know, like just regular monsters that are in statue form, and there are earth attribute, you know, earth attribute, like fairy type, you know, that come from the first like YuGiOh you know, show. And just to give you an idea of what one of these cards does, like as you can see what they look like little paper cards. But say if like these cards are based around this one field spell called Statue Zone, and it negates the effects of face-up statue monsters. Now, you would ask yourself, you know, like why would they need their effects negated? Is because even though they may share, you know, a resemblance, as you can see, the blue eyes, like statue dragon that I showed you, it still has the like, with the exception of its attribute and its type, it still has like the same stats as, you know, like a regular Blue Eyes. You know, it has 3,000 attack, it's level 8, etc. But all statues have this effect to where, while they're face up on the field alone, their attack and defense are 0, and they cannot declare an attack. So if they were to make this into an R-type, you know, like, I think that they would pretty much need a search card for Statue Zone, obviously, since like this R-type is pretty much like revolved around it. You know, maybe like have some ways to recycle like Statue Zone. You know, oh, and I forgot to mention, you know, they also have some effects that allows them to swarm. So yeah, you can, if you can get you know, like that field spell card up, and you know, like, you can get them to swarm the field, like, you'll have some, you know, some high like beat sticks on the field. So yeah, like some high attack power beat sticks on the field. So it will make for like a good like beat down strategy, and for field advantage. You know, yeah, I would like to see the statues be made into official archetype. Like I said, it's not likely it's going to happen, but it's good for some discussion. Last but not least, I think this is an archetype that a lot of people really wanted to see make it into an actual archetype, in my opinion. Like, you know, like, I've been on various chat rooms and things like that, and it's pretty, you know, like, unanimous that this is one of the archetypes that, you know, should have been made into an actual, you know, archetype for the game. They put it in the Tag Force games, but it wasn't officially made into an archetype as of yet. Right now, the only 2 fossil monsters that they have out is the Fossil Dyna Pacifolo and like Fossil Tusker. And, you know, like, just to show you what the cards look like, you can see like the big headed guy right there, and a big woolly mammoth with ribs showing. Them ribs. But yeah, the archetype is like focused around like fusion summoning using a special fusion card called Fossil Fusion. I'll show that to you as well. You can see right here, and it's a unique type of fusion because not only does it rely on you having the fossil monsters in your graveyard, but you need to rely on like on your opponent's like graveyard as well, because your opponent has to have the proper monster in their graveyard in order to, you know, sorry, I had taken a drink. But yeah, this card relies on what's in your graveyard and your opponent's graveyard as well. So you need to focus on, you know, having your fossil monsters in your graveyard and whatever the proper monster that is in your opponent graveyard that you need as well. Like, just to give you an idea, let me show you a few of these fusion monsters. just so you can get an idea on what I mean. Like the fusion materials for this guy right here is 1 rock type monster in your graveyard and 1 level 8 or higher monster in your opponent's graveyard. So it's specific monsters, like whether it be level, type, like this guy. It's another one that's based on level. 1 rock type monster in your graveyard, 1 level 7 or higher monster in your opponent's graveyard. This one is based on levels as well. 1 level 4 or lower, and this one is based on level and machine. So you see, look at these guys. It's just like one big fossil truck just ramming through the damn highway, knocking over that Ferrari. Man, it'll be a trip if that tail hit it. Oh well, shouldn't have been on the road. But yeah, like I think these are some interesting archetypes that, especially for the fossil, and the not fortune ladies, but the fortune fairies. Since they've been put like in the Tag Force games, I would like to see them, get taken out of the video game, since they've already been shown that they can be an archetype, like an active archetype in the actual game. Like maybe they can, make these into an official archetype. Who knows what might happen in the future. But, like I said, this is just for discussion. And what kind of archetypes would you guys like to see, be made, like into actual cards. But with that being said, I'm gonna leave you with that, and yeah, so the links to all these archetypes that I showed are going to be in the description. You guys can look at them, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.